welcome back. Random TV Reviews, your girl Lynette.
Your boy Stanley.
Let's go ahead and do some house cleaning real quick because some of y'all don't gave me a virtual black eye because y'all didn't know that we had a vlogging channel, which we do. It's always down in the description box.
Yes, indeed.
Like Lady Nika says, down in the panty section. In the panty section. But it's Life With Us TV. Yeah, we vlog and we do uploads maybe 2 times a week or something like that. Not a lot. Just enough to give you a peek of my life. And then, forgot to tell y'all last week that Angela Robinson, a.k.a. Demonica, she actually checked out a video of ours on last week of one of our reviews, and she tweeted me. So I was like,
wow.
And I was like, at first I was like, this is fake. And then when she started giving details, I was like,
yeah, this real.
I said,
real.
Ooh, whatever. But let's get on into it. A tragic assumption. And
let's get into it.
Detective Salison is over at the house, right? So we start off from where we left off last week. Because we know now Wyatt ain't dead. He was Tupac dead for the moment. But now he is he alive. So
he's risen from the dead.
So Detective Salison was like, Hannah, go up there and get Catherine because I have something to tell her. She was like, you can tell me. She was like, look, what, you scared you're going to lose your job or something? Hannah said, I don't work here.
I don't work here no more.
She said, what you here for? I'm supporting a friend. Detective Salison said, the same friend that
covered up the hit and run
of your son? I was saying the same goddamn thing.
We've been saying the same thing for weeks now,
Yeah, so about time somebody told you about it.
Yeah. She didn't say nothing. She just tried to change the subject.
Yeah, so Detective Salison was like, what the ambulance doing outside? Hannah said, asked the owner of the house. And walked upstairs.
Great answer.
So she goes upstairs and she tells Catherine, she said, look, I need you to come downstairs. Why? There's a detective downstairs. She needs to talk to you. She?
Who is she?
Who's she?
The DA.
The DA. Catherine cried. I told you she a big girl, but she light on her feet.
She can move fast, boy.
She came down them steps again.
Wide open.
Like going with the
wind.
That's
why Grace said going with the wind.
She came down the steps and she said, how dare you be in my house? She asked the cop, give me your gun. Because I'm about to shoot this bitch. Bitch, I'm about to shoot this bitch.
The officer's like, do you know you threatened a federal officer? She said, I don't even care.
And if you don't give me your gun, I'll find one
and shoot her.
Like Ply said, the big gotta die. The big gotta die. I said, Well, long story short, detective said, look, we made a mistake. With the title of it, A Tragic Assumption.
That's exactly what it was.
Your son was in a coma for 32 hours. Oh, but don't worry. This don't happen before.
She said, what kind of freaking, what they call them, response officers is working for you?
So she said, well, I got a car out there waiting for you to take you to the hospital, da-da-da-da. She said, take that car.
And shove it right off.
Yo, okay, I'm not going to the hospital. So Hannah, the slave, was like, you not going to the hospital to see your own son? She said, look, last image I seen of my daughter was her in that body bag. I'll never get the image out of my head. I'm not going to go and see the last image of my son laying up in that bed with tubes all hung up to him.
I feel on that one.
Hannah understood.
Yeah, I feel on that one.
Yeah.
I done been there, done that.
Yeah. So Hannah understood. And you know Hannah the slave is going to do whatever the slave master say before the slave master even said it. Hannah was like, do you mind if I go
and see why?
And she was like, I was hoping you would say that.
No, because you was getting ready to ask her.
First of all, I wouldn't have still been in that house.
Yeah,
so I would have opened the door and hollered upstairs, hey, Catherine, you got gas.
You got gas.
And I would have pulled right on.
Matter of fact, I wouldn't even did that. Matter of fact, I would say, y'all know what? Going to open the door up and going upstairs. She upstairs. She kicked me out. I don't even care.
But this was funny to me, y'all. Catherine Crowd told the detective Salison, D.A. Salison, look, I want you to bring my son back the way that you found him. An a-hole, basically.
Yeah.
Smart mouth, rude, all of that. I want you to bring him back to me the same way before you pumped him worth for $12 million for cocaine.
I said, God, don't.
I said, well, whatever.
I thought that Detective Salison was gonna smack the spit out of her mouth. She had it in her eye. She definitely had it in her eye. Would you smack her?
Yeah. But what was funny to me, Catherine told her, said, if you ain't here to tell me that my son is risen from the dead, then we don't have nothing to talk about. Well, he is.
She said, oh.
That was funny to me.
Yeah, she said,
I forgot to say that part.
When she said, oh.
I'm not doing this with you tonight. It's too late. All right, so we move it over. Erica, homegirl, she calls Candace. She was like, do you have a picture of Oscar? Because, yeah, you ain't going to believe this. Candace said, yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Sent it over there to her. She said, Well, guess what, homegirl? Mr. Oscar is sitting right across from me. And where she said she was at? She said, I'm at the Sean Quentin's.
Yeah. Fancy restaurant.
I said, she about to take somebody for their paper. That's what that is. Candace said, stall him. She said, ain't no guarantees because I'm waiting on somebody. Candace said, do what you can do. But I'm going to need you to stall him. So that there go Erica goes over to him now. Mind you, Oscar's on a date.
Yeah.
With some rundown white chick.
Yeah.
You know, she ain't cute or whatever. So obviously, that's another job.
Yeah.
She goes over there flirting with him and everything. Act like the girl ain't even there. Ask for a Cosmo. Talking about something. You want to take me out on a date?
And he was sweating.
And he was like,
I don't think so. Not no, but I don't think so. So in other words, he was like,
I'm
when
intrigued.
she gone,
I'll be holler.
Yeah, I'm gonna holler back at you.
So Erica goes back to her table, and her date, Colonel Sanders, he comes and sits down. I said, oh yeah, this is definitely
that's
a money
setup. Yeah.
So she was like, she called Candace, or Candace called her, one of them. Don't remember, don't care.
Candace called her, but it don't matter.
It don't matter. Like Mike B said, it don't even matter. Long story short is, she was like, I think I have an idea. But she was talking in code, so the homeboy wouldn't know what she was saying. Basically, Erica got up out of there, went to valet, told the valet driver, look, I'm going to need you to take this phone, put it under his seat. Here's a little money. Eyes up here, because homeboy was all down in the chest.
all up in the breasts.
Eyes up here, put it under his seat, paid him a little cash. Erica said, I got a plan. I got you. So you know, of course, later on, they're going to meet up about that.
And we forgot to add that Erica stuck her number in his coat pocket, too.
Oh, yeah, that was funny, too.
Which we know that was a fake number, but they don't even matter.
It don't matter. Candace get home. Jeffrey told her, look, I told Justin Timberlake everything.
She's like, what you tell her?
What's everything? And I'm so glad that she didn't open her mouth.
Yeah, but that's that lawyer in her, though, see.
That's that con artist in her.
And the lawyer/con artist. Because you don't run out and say, did you tell him about war?
About your mama or your
Not war, Quincy.
So yeah, she was like, what did he know? So Jeffrey pissed me off. Cause
he pissed me off.
He was like, long story short, he only told him about stabbing the mama. Yeah. Candace was like...
And talking about they came over there to get a better signal?
Because of the concrete?
Because of the concrete? What?
Are you still trying to figure out what that is?
You could have went anywhere, but you had to come to the backyard where y'all knew y'all buried freaking Quincy. I'm surprised he didn't ask like, what's that little dirt spot? Because y'all know it's just a freaking mud dirt spot right now. I'm surprised he didn't ask about it.
Yeah, so Candace was like, in so many words, you need to get him up out of my house.
Get this play up out of here.
Jeffrey said, no, that's my friend. Justin Timberlake was like,
don't get it twisted, Mr. Harrington.
Just because I'm doing my job don't mean we're friends. Look, we're not ready to claim each other in public because you know he in the closet.
Yeah.
So don't get too comfortable with your eggplant colored pants on and your brown shoe boots or whatever you call them.
But Justin ain't gonna like him up though. He do have a lot on Justin though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he have a lot on him, but
I'm really surprised that Jeffrey didn't share that with Candace, but maybe he will later on. Yeah. I don't know. Well, Hannah goes to the hospital to do her slave duties. David is at the hospital already watching over Wyatt. David said...
I can't even remember what he said. You call me off
You
guard.
got one job to do. Where is Catherine?
Yeah.
You got one job to do.
Here you go. My bad.
David said,
Where's Catherine?
I'm done. I'm not doing this with him.
Since you put me on the spot, it's all good though. I'm
It's
with
not.
you.
It's
I'm
not.
with you.
It's not.
I'm with you.
So Wyatt in a coma. But check this out, y'all. Tyler Perry. We let you live last week just because we liked the storyline.
Yeah.
But we're not going to let you live this week because this dude in a coma been pumped up with all them drugs.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me he ain't even got an IV in his goddamn arm?
He just sitting in the bed like he just taking a freaking nap.
The Young and the Restless do better than this.
Yeah, like he took some NyQuil and freaking sleeping off his cold. Bullshit.
Really, Tyler?
Right there. Bullshit.
This what we doing? Dudes
Let's say after
on
we find out what
Instagram.
the doctor said was freaking in the system.
Yeah. Dudes on Instagram fake hospital stays better than this.
Yeah.
But the doctor came in and told them that he was pumped full of, what was it, heroin?
Opiates, cocaine, marijuana, all other kind of narcotics, and alcohol.
I got that good cushion alcohol.
He did.
Basically, the doctor was like, look, when he came here, we put him in a medically induced coma because he was having seizures.
Yeah.
But since then, he has not had any seizures. He's doing great.
He's
He's
stable.
on his own. You know, he's knocked out right now because of the medicine that we're having more of so we can detox him. But basically, it's just a waiting game. He gonna be all right.
At least when you go to the doctor, they hook you up to a respirator, the freaking oxygen, so
They
you
hook
can
you up
breathe.
To a what now?
The respirator.
You said a respirator?
Respirator, whatever it is. The respiration
Oh
rater.
my God. So David and Hannah both go to leave. When David is walking down the hallway, he hear this familiar sound.
Arguing.
I do not have implants. The doctor was like, but I'm looking at it
I'm
right
looking
here.
at the x-ray.
He was like, look, the implant is ruptured. We're going to have to fix it. But I
You
do
don't
not
have-
have implants. I have a banging body, no scars, had a baby, no stretch marks. Da 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 da. David opens up the door. The doctor was like, you can't come in. She was like, that's my husband. Get out.
Get out.
He said,
Like,
but I'm
The
getting ready.
anesthesia gonna wear off, and you're gonna be in so much pain.
Such is life.
Such is life.
David comes in that goddamn room. What'd he say?
Veronica, what you doing here? Tell me what happened.
She said, our son stabbed me. David said, what?
What?
Our son? What'd he say? With Jeffrey?
Jeffrey? Hell, son?
She said, well, not unless you got another son that I don't know nothing about. But yeah, Jeffrey. Him downstairs. He was like,
Then he go into this deep
He
story.
went into it. He said, Bobby Statesman.
Yeah.
He said, Bobby Statesman bullied our son.
He's the bullet, Jeffrey.
Said Jeffrey never came home and told a soul.
Let it all be bottled up on the inside. Till one day, he said a little too much. And Jeffrey beat him with a baseball bat and knocked him unconscious.
I can't.
He said, and I know you remember, Veronica. I know you remember. Because you handled the case. And guess what, Veronica? You were Bobby. Save for me.
Statesman.
Stay for me.
Then he said, go what? Now go tell the doctor.
Now go tell the doctor that you got them implants so it can save your life. No, better yet, don't tell him.
And he walked
and walked out. Pissed.
David!
So now David wants you to die. The whole family. David, Jeffrey, all of them.
Ron and
gone.
Rick and Mike,
Gone.
all of them.
Want you gone.
So Benny goes over to Candace's house. Erica goes over to Candace's house. I had a revelation. I don't know if any of y'all caught it. But Benny looked at Erica and said, oh, this is how we do it. Erica said, blame your sister. Y'all remember? Erica rolled up on Benny like she had just got in a bad breakup with a boyfriend and sold Benny that $500 car, which we knew that Candace set that joker up just so he can ultimately give Hannah that car.
Yep.
So now Benny know what his sister did. Erica was like, don't put the church member in this here, baby.
Yeah, I ain't had nothing to do with this.
Ask your sister, blame your sister. Erica was like, look, I need you to go take a ride with me. But you know, Benny is over there really to talk to Jeffrey about his. If you don't go get you a Google Voice number or something.
Yeah. You could have been man, you could have got freaking Verizon Fios. You could have got freaking, what's that other one, that voice over IP service?
Magic Jack. He could have had it all. But that's what he over there for. Erica was like, look, we need to go take a ride. Erica and them go outside. Benny pulls off. I said, Benny gonna circle back around, come back.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what he did. He circle around, come back, but I'm gonna come back to that. Erica and Candace end up at the campaign headquarters because they don't track the phone that's in Oscar's car, and it's at the headquarters. Candace said, so why are we at Jim's headquarters when Jim is locked up?
Yeah.
Erica was like, well, we just going to wait it out and see
who it is.
All of a sudden, we hear a boom.
Boom.
It's
Mr.
Mitch.
I actually thought it was Oscar.
I did too. Mitch said, what y'all doing?
He said, what you doing?
He said, well, it's all because of your brother. Our phones ain't on because your brother was smashing the Harrington dude's wife. He done messed up the phone lines, all this. Candace was like, too much information.
Well, she already knew.
She knew.
Yeah.
But then he said, did you hear about your boy? Whoa.
Oh.
She said, what you talking about? Got
popped. Pop. He locked up.
Drugs and $2 million worth of cash. She said,
was like, Mitch.
Did you do this?
He's going to kill me.
I said, Mitch.
So, sad to tell y'all that we're going to have to prepare for Candace's funeral. You going to have an obituary?
Phaedra Parks and, what's the man name that's up in Atlanta?
I'll give Phaedra a call. I'll set up the whole service. I'll get the preacher, the pallbearers, all that. Who paying for the casket?
She gonna get cremated if I got to pay for it.
You gonna cremate her?
I burn up right there in that fire pit outside.
Yeah, because her life is over.
It's over.
It's over.
What they sing at the old churches? Don't you wait for that hearse to take you
to church.
I said, if they sing that song at another funeral.
But that's when black people go to church anyway. A funeral.
A funeral wedding, basically. So, circle back over to Candace's house where Benny goes over there and to holler at wait a minute. I just had something that just came to my mind.
Got a revelation? Speak the word.
Justin Timberlake been over at that house pretty much for a good amount of time. Justin Timberlake left out that front door. His nosy heifer of a mama. Why you ain't see your own son come and go out of that house?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
What?
Yeah.
What shit?
Yeah.
You ain't see your son.
Yeah.
And he left out the front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to count him as one of the guys going in and out of the house. I don't care if he not black. He a guy going in and out of the house. That's what you looking at, the guys. And you still believe one of them ain't never came back out. Which is true.
So Benny's so stupid, y'all. I promise you. I shouldn't say what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. Benny was one of those kids that he didn't quite qualify for the special program at school. So what they did was they made him go to VOTEC for 3 periods of the school day. Just because they wanted him, just so he could pass. So he did not make that mark. But he in that middle ground, and he went to vocational school for 3 periods of the school day, and he took up how to do CDL work, how to weld, and how to lay brick.
So you said that Benny didn't get on the long bus; he got on the short bus.
No, he got on the long bus because he's still qualified to get on the long bus, but he could not take the classes that everybody else took.
So he was a how you said Meridio student.
Goodbye. He was in VOTAC for most of the school day.
So the rest of the period was he in the regular classes?
He took English and he took math, but
and
like
social studies.
But like no, he didn't take social studies. He can't handle that.
He can't. Okay, that's a little too much.
He didn't do biology. He did not do Spanish 1 or French 1. Basics.
So he just did math, English, and gym class.
That's why he buff.
Yeah.
And he can drive that.
He played football too. Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave it alone.
Anything else that was above that?
If
no go.
Yeah.
No go.
He had to do it at VOTAC.
Yeah.
Benny goes over there with stale information trying to blackmail goddamn Jeffrey. He told Jeffrey, look, tell your daddy that if he don't put my phones back on, I'm gonna tell him that you're gay. Jeffrey was like,
okay, is that it?
He said, yeah, get him on the phone. Well, David calls at the right moment.
Time. Yep.
David was like, I just left the hospital. Seen your mama. You stabbed her. You need to stay away from her. You need to get control.
You need to stay away from her.
You need to get control of your rage.
Yeah.
He said, because we cannot have another Bible statesman situation on our hands. And Benny in the background talking something. Tell him. Like Red Man and Method Man. Get him. Get him.
Like on How High?
Get him. He was like, somebody want to talk to you. He gets on the phone. Mr. Harrington. No, because first Jeffrey was like,
told him,
I have daggone Benny Young here, and he said that if you don't turn his phones back on, he gonna tell you that I'm gay. Benny said,
huh? Say, you dummy, you dumb.
David said, is he threatening you?
Is he threatening you?
Put him on the phone. He gets on the phone. He said, listen, I'll be at your 2 yard in a few hours.
In 3 hours.
Meet me.
Meet me there.
I said, I like to see them big meat cleavers.
Next week we're gonna see that next week. It looked like they were tussling, in the previews anyway.
Yeah, but in this conversation, David was like, you know how somebody slip information that they thought you knew but you didn't know, and he was like, Jeffrey was like, how have you seen Wyatt? He said, yeah, I just left him. So he was like, is it true? He was like, yeah, it's true. He said, now I need to go tell Jim the good news. He said, good news?
Good news?
He said, son.
Oh, you didn't know, Jeffrey. Wyatt's doing good.
You need to go over to the hospital and see your friend.
You need to go see your friend.
I hate you. I really do. Ooh. So, what else happened? So we get back to the FEMA jail.
I knew they were going to save this scene for last.
I did too.
I knew it. That's how Tyler always do it and piss us off.
War is in lockdown, finally. Took a long time in my processing, but that is true.
Yeah.
And
how do you know you've been jailed before?
Anyway, why would you ask me that on camera? So
I mean, Jeffrey telling the cops everything, so we may have to go tell the cops everything too.
They know everything. Shoot. I don't need to tell them, skit, pull it out.
Well, they say they got freaking face recognition scanners now, so they can scan you and pull your record up while you're right on YouTube.
I believe that.
I believe it too. I just made it up, but I believe it. I will have y'all scared, but like, I ain't doing no YouTube videos no more. They gonna scan my face and pull up my record and put me back in jail.
My stuff is expunged. That's what happens when you got.
But I did hear they did have face recognition. I don't know if it can work through video or not, though.
I don't know. But War gets locked up for the moment. We gotta wrap this up. We getting tired now. You can tell. Well, they conveniently put him right beside Jim Cryer. Jim over there curled up in fetal position, sleep. War said, we meet again. And it basically went off from there.
Just like that.
So next week we done already found out that Jim is pretty much taunting War because she don't got you twice, bruh.
Jim got you twice, bruh. He said, she got 7.4 million? She's dead. I said,
Dead.
Yep. So I'm here with, next week we here.
Tyler Perry doing some goddamn writing.
Yeah, either he doing some writing or he done hired some new writers. Had to hire some new writers because the ones last season, it was,
He said he ain't gonna let Oprah do him. But I'll see y'all tomorrow at Calvary.
Yeah, we see y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all come to church too.
Yeah.
Don't say that you sick.
And you
don't
come
say
as
you
you
gotta
are.
go see your mama. Don't say you going out of town because we need them tithes and offering tomorrow. Because the light bills and the phone bill got to be paid. Matter of fact, the phone company been calling and threatening to turn the phone off. The power company said they're going to cut our lights off if we don't pay the bills this week because y'all won't tithe. I know Gigi that had sex with what the name is, Noah.
She had Noah's
but the bills still got to be paid, so we see y'all tomorrow at church.
Yeah. Because I'm changing churches, but until then, I'm going to be there under watch care.
Straight from the VA. Dirty South. 2 up, 2 down. Holla.